One more deck profile for Age of Overlord. This one is for the Lore Andes. This one is for the Soul. Pure Dogmatika with Ken and Gen. You're going to want to see this, but first, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also, if you want to support me and the channel, help me continue making content, reach that 15,000 subscriber goal. Check out my new Field Center exclusively with Chainlink TCG. 1 out of 100 serialized copies. You get your own exclusive one for only 15 bucks. So that's really worth it to support the channel and get yourself a one-of-a-kind piece. Link in the description below. As always, Pure Dogmatika. This is something that actually I got the idea from just playing Master Duel over the Duelist Cup, and I played Pure Dogmatika to reach DLV Max Dogmatika. And it actually occurred to me that in order to use this deck to its full potential, I think Ken and Gen are really, really cool. So I'm going to explain how they fit into the deck, show you what to actually do in order to achieve the maximum potential. But I think this is a tier 7 rogue deck, but if you are a lore Andy like myself and you do enjoy these, you can take this up to locals, ruin somebody's day. That's always fun. So Pure Dogmatika, Ken and Gen. We're playing 3 Dogmatika Ecclesia, 1 Maximus, 1 Fleur de Lis. I don't really think you need to be playing 2 Maximus here. This deck loses fast and wins fast, so if you just set up your board, draw the cards that you need, it's relatively consistent as well. You get to the 1 Maximus, you don't really need another one in the late game because it just doesn't provide more value, to be honest. And then we're playing 3 Gen and 1 Ken. So let me explain why that works in this deck and why we actually play it, besides the obvious reasons for, thrust and talents. So this card is Dogmatika Matrix, and if you don't know what it does, this card is the best new starter out of Photon Hypernova for like the end of the branded lore. When this card is activated, you can add 1 Dogmatika Ritual monster or 1 Dogmatika Ritual spell from your deck to your hand. Then, if your opponent controls a monster, you can add 1 Dogmatika card in addition to that, right? This also has another effect. If you control a ritual, then you can look at either player's extra deck and send 1 monster from there to the graveyard. But the big deal is, and what we did before is just Ibli lock, so your opponent has a monster. Now, what you want to do is use, specifically we play 3 Gen, just 1 because Ken draws you cards, but 2, this goes into Almirage because it has less than 1,000 attack, so this is the reason why we're playing 3 of Gen. So Gen summons Ken to your opponent's field, and now your Dogmatika Matrix adds you any Dogmatika card and a ritual. So basically opening like Gen and Ecclesia is just like full combo, full board, and I'll show you what actually happens when you do that. So yeah, we're playing 3 Gen, 1 Ken. Let me continue. I jumped a little bit ahead for the Matrix, and then for the rituals, we're playing Albazoa, and we're playing White Relic. I'm not playing the White Knight. I don't think it provides any more value, to be honest. Even though it's an extra deck rip, it doesn't really have a good on-field effect, and you actually end on a pretty stacked board. So what you want to do is, first of all, go into Albazoa, which is relatively easy because you just dump Lulu Wallowith with Dogmatic Calamity. I'll show that in a second. This card going first, basically, your opponent sends 7 cards from their extra deck or the hand to the graveyard. Not really good if you're playing against tier, but usually you have the opportunity to activate Matrix before. Matrix, look at their extra deck, make sure there's no, you're not playing against branded, and then you send the same number of cards because it's for every 2 cards. So it's still divided by 14 divided by 2. It still works. So this card, of course, makes all of your Dogmatika monsters unaffected by your opponent's activated effect. And then Relic is good because you go into it pretty naturally because it's a level 4. So Herald of the Arclight, you banish it to summon this as material. And then this one, when it's summoned, it copies an attack of a monster on the field to another monster. So basically, this card gains 4,000 attack from this. If you're going second and you were able to break the board, when you have a lot of board breakers, these are just game, like 8,500 damage. So this is the monster lineup. This is the logic behind Ken and Gen. This is why I thought about it. I was like, my opponent needs a monster. Ibli is not cool anymore, guys. It's not trendy. So we're playing that. A lot of spells and traps. 3 Matrix, best card in the deck, especially combined with Ken and Gen. And then 1 Macabre, 1 Calamity. You could play 2 Macabre because it summons from grave, so it gives you a little bit more grind game. Again, this deck either wins really fast or just loses to single interruption because it's Dogmatika. So I do play 1 of each, which is fine. And then 3 Nadir Servant, which is also kind of a 1-card combo in this deck. 3 Ultimate Slayer. We have all the targets from the extra deck that are really, really good, so there's no reason why not to play this. Because we're also, of course, playing Triple Tactic Thrust, so we want really good targets for that. And then we have 3 talents to make sure our Ken and Gen goes to good use, and then 1 Duster for the Rescue Ace matchup, and 1 Change of Heart, again, for the Gen and Ken. And Dogmatika Punishment, because it's a really, really, really good card that you can either search from Ecclesia or just search off of Thrust and set it if your opponent activated a card effect. 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, 3 Judge, 3 Solemn Strike. I love this card. It's, for some reason, it gives you just like a good layer of interruption in Dogmatika. Just like, instead of going to a Baron, this deck can just set this. Of course, every deck can set Solemn Strike, but this deck is a bit slower. It makes sense to run this here as an additional layer. Now for the extra deck, we do have every color under the sun in this extra deck, of course. This is a Dogmatika deck after all. Herald of the Arclight at 2. There is some utility in the extra deck, so you don't want to max out on this. You usually resolve this twice only. This searches every one of your rituals, so it's really good to have it too, because then you can actually summon both on the same turn. Melong, good Ultimate Slayer target. Good for, banishing, because it's level 6, you can banish it for the White Relic. Of course, it bounces another card on the field. And then Lulu, which is your level 12 target for summoning with Dogmatika Calamity, summoning the big Albazoa. 2 Ents, 1 Garura, 1 Granguignol, 1 Titaniclad. These are the fusions that we have here. 1 Aggregator, another Slayer target, negates a card on the field. Zeus, because we're playing just Thrust and Talents and Change of Heart, you can steal an opponent's Succeeds monster. Go into the Zeus. Almirage, to get the Ken off the field. That way you can go into this, go into Secure Garden, special summon Ecclesia, search for Maximus, banish the Almirage. This is the normal like Dogmatika line. SPL Knight, because it locks you for the deck locks you for the rest of the turn after you activate the effect, not the entire turn. So turn 3, you can go into SP, then make your plays just too good to pass up. And then Bucephalus II, good Slayer and Punishment target that can send Garura when it's sent to the graveyard, draws you a card. It's really, really cool. So let's take a look on like how the main line would work with Gen and Ken specifically. So for example, we have, let's say we have Gen, right? Just Gen specifically. And then we have any one of our starter, mainly like Ecclesia is a very, very good starter with this. So this will obviously be a 2-card combo, but it could be in combination with other cards as well. So basically we have this in the hand. We normal summon Gen. And then, of course, our opponent gets the Ken. We draw 2 cards. We discard 1. We have an additional card in hand. Now, what we do is send this to the graveyard. We go into our Almirage. This is why we play 3 again, because it can be used to summon Almirage. Almirage, go into Secure Garden. Now we have a link on the field. We can activate the effect of Ecclesia in hand. Go for, of course, yeah, the effect, which searches us Matrix. Now this is the whole point. Right? This is the whole point of the deck. Why do we play Gen and Ken? Because Dogmatika Matrix, now when we activate it, we can search 2 cards, right? So we're going to search a ritual spell or monster, which doesn't matter because we're going to get to the other one anyway, right? We're going to search the Albazoa, and then just any Dogmatika card, which will be the Maximus. This is how you do it, right? And this is why it's so good when your opponent actually has a monster on their field, okay? So now that we activated this, we're going to go into Maximus here, banish the Almirage, activate the effect of Maximus, and we're going to be sending Titaniclad here, and also Herald. right? Your opponent sends 2. Then Herald activates. We can search for the Calamity. Then summon Albazoa. Now you can, of course, look at your own extra deck or your opponent's extra deck. Send a card from there. Then your opponent needs to send 7 cards. Then in the end phase, you get another summon for Ecclesia. You get another. You get the Fleur de Lis in hand with the Ash Dragon, and this is all sort of like allowed because your opponent has a monster. So when you're going first, you're never going to resolve that effect unless you put a monster on their field. So this is the kind of the idea behind that. Of course, this is a bad deck, but I think it's really, really fun. I've been playing. It's just fun because lore, because these cards are awesome, because like who doesn't want to summon this beautiful guy? Look at how the stars looks on like a super rare ritual. Never noticed how good that looks. That looks amazing. So this is the Dogmatika pile with Ken and Gen. Leave it down in the comments below. What do you think about this? Join our Discord to share your Dogmatika builds. I've seen people labbing this, so share this with us. Of course, Chainlink TCG, our exclusive field center, 100 limited copies, serialized, really helps the channel, really supports it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Leave a thumbs up, leave a like, leave a comment, leave a sub. Peace.